Alrighty, man. Well, that was a great chat about your brew code and everything, and now we're going to talk about like some really cool stuff, some more of the recent stuff where you're talking about your Rockstar and your TAFE and all of that. So let's get into it.
Yeah, so ended up getting a job at Stone and Wood, and I was not in a great place mentally.
Yeah.
So I moved from Brisbane down to the Gold Coast. That's it. I rented this amazing tiny little shoebox apartment, but it was right on Pacific Parade in Currumbin, and I could hear the ocean from my bed, and just had a great job where I was just on shift and I could heal, and it felt great, you know, just to heal. And I got to, I think, you know, what I sort of gave Stone and Wood in return was between myself and Neil Pops Whitthorn, who passed away just a few weeks ago, was the Stone and Wood Company Homebrewing Club, which was called the League of Extraordinary Brewers. And so we started, because Stone and Wood, when I started there, was just a factory. People just pumping out Pacific Ale every day. And no one knew why they were doing what they were doing. They didn't know why the mash temperature was this. They didn't know why the Galaxy went in then and all that sort of thing. And sort of between sort of Richie Crowe, who's the head of production, Brad Rogers, Pops, Keelan and I, we sort of went, well, let's just start a company homebrew club and let's just see what happens. And so we end up just doing really cool homebrew competitions every 6 weeks. So it would be, you know, sometimes it would be brew a beer to style, and sometimes it would be get creative. And so, you know, what was born out of that was a lot of new product development for Stone and Wood. And so, you know, now when you see all of the counterculture beers coming out of Stone and Wood, a lot of those were born out of the League of Extraordinary Brewers, and I'm immensely proud of that. It's become something way bigger than what we put in. We just want to have fun homebrewing beer. I still homebrew. We homebrewed the other day.
Yeah, we did it the other day.
And you know, it's something that I'm sort of still very passionate about and that sort of thing. You know, it was basically a 1-year contract, and I finished up the 1 year, and that was it. And I was ready to start the next thing, and that became the Rockstar Brewer Academy.
So what is the Rockstar Brewer Academy?
So when I started Rockstar Brewer Academy, it was really meant to be a consulting business, and I thought that there was enough breweries being built that I could just go and help people hone in skills. Now the thing is, right, is you got to know about me about brewers in general, is that brewers are like mechanics, right? Is that you're not just a brewer. There's like, you know, if you're a mechanic, there's a mechanic who specialises in radiators, there's one that specialises in brakes and shocks, there's one that does exhaust, there's one that does engines, diesel, all that sort of stuff. Brewing's the same. And because I'd run a gypsy brewing company, I'd never actually built a brewery. Yeah. Right, so I'm not a brewery engineer, so don't speak to me about stainless steel, because yes, I know how it works and I know how to make good beer on it, but I don't know how to. Exactly. Just let me walk in and I can figure out the pots and pans and stuff like that. And so, but what I was good at was making good beer, setting up the systems in place for breweries to make good beer, and I actually kind of became pretty good at coaching and mentoring and stuff like that. And to be fair, a lot of that was born out of the League of Extraordinary Brewers, working with a lot of my fellow staff at Stone and Wood, teaching them home brewing and all this, sharing knowledge and all this, and the passion and all that sort of thing. And that's kind of what I sort of fell into. And so what was originally meant to be a consulting business quickly turned into a coaching group and a coaching program. I coach brewers all over the world now, to set up the systems to make really amazing beer. That's my focus. I don't build breweries. I help brewers make awesome beer. You know, and it's a lot of fun.
It's obviously something, as you said, like it gets you to travel everywhere. It ties in with
absolutely
a lot of industry things and people.
I get to do a lot of travel. One of the things I love about my job now is a lot of the cool things I do with beer that I'm, you know, immensely passionate about. I love the travel. I rarely consult, and if you want to hire me as a consultant, I'm really fucking expensive. Because I can't do the things that I love doing, right? So, you know, for example, beer judging is one of the things that I'm immensely passionate about now. You and me both. And have been doing it now since since 2012 when I was at Southern Bay. I started stewarding at the Australian International Beer Awards. And over the years, I've honed my skills, and I wanted to become a better judge, and And now I get to travel all over the world and judge beer competitions. I'm on the organising committee for the local competition here with the RNA, the Royal Queensland Beer Awards. This year is going to be, it's not my 10th year because it's 2023, but it's the 10th time, my 10th time that I've actually been involved with the Australian International Beer Awards, and I'm super excited for that. Now, of course, with COVID, there was a year that we missed. But even during when there was travel restrictions and lockdowns in Melbourne, I risked it and went to Melbourne to go judge. I judge in South Australia for the Royal Adelaide Beer and Cider Awards. I judge in Japan, thanks to Lee from White Lies, who got me into that. Go drink his beer.
Great beers.
Brewer's a dickhead. Good beer. And
he'll love that too. He'll nod and smile and be like, yeah, fair play.
Yeah, that's it. But he actually got me into that. I'm really grateful for that because that competition is amazing. They treat the judges so well. The first year, went to Yokohama in Japan, had an amazing time. Our hotel was across the road from the baseball stadium. And so a few Brewers, a couple of Australians, I think we blagged our way into the baseball stadium. And when you're at the baseball stadium, you don't have to get up to get a beer, right? There's ladies with keg backpacks and they just pour you a beer at your seat. And I'm thinking, this is the best fucking thing ever. And watch baseball and I know nothing about baseball, but man, they're so passionate about it, and they're singing at each other, and Japanese people, food, culture, it's just so amazing. And so beer judging is a big part of my life and what I like to do. And the other thing that sort of like, working, being that coach and mentor at Rockstar, which kind of leads into the whole TAFE thing. So TAFE is the Queensland Technical and Further Education, vocational education.
Oh, is that what it stands for? I had no idea.
Technical and Further Education.
Yeah.
Dude, you've done the course.
I thought it was like tertiary and...
No, technical and further education.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go.
That's what it means. So through the mentoring and coaching, I kind of got involved with, advising the Queensland State Government as part of the Queensland Craft Brewing Strategy around what the educational requirements were for brewing, right? So we sort of spoke a lot about it, and I knew nothing about vocational education and training. The TAFE got funding from the state government to develop a program for brewers, and I took a look at the training package, which is sort of the things you need to learn and that sort of thing. And then they went and started recruiting teachers. And no one applied because there was no one who was available. Yeah. Because the issue is here in Queensland, as indeed pretty much all over the world, is that we've got a skills shortage and a skills crisis, and we need more people who can brew beer because otherwise people open breweries without the skills and the beer's going to be shit. And I hate shit beer.
Yeah.
And they opened it up, but nobody applied, and I said, well, I'll put my hat in the ring, but I'm not going to be a full-time teacher because I've still got, Rockstar Brewer Academy as my business. And so I took on a job 2 days per week in February of 2020, 2 weeks before we went into lockdown because of COVID.
Yeah.
Right, that first big bloody 10-week lockdown that we did that was just stupid and boozy and drank way too much because I'm living by myself and that sort of thing. But what happened?
I had beer taps at home. Don't worry.
Well, exactly. So what happened was that all of my coaching and consulting work suddenly dried up overnight because all the breweries shut down.
Everyone's closed. Yep.
And I was thinking, well, shit, what do I do? And so luckily I had this 2-day-a-week job, which would tide me over and that sort of thing. And then they sort of said, well, we need to write the content because we want the first intake in July. Yep. And they said, can you do 3 days a week? I went, it's not like I'm going anywhere. Right? So started writing content for the course, and they also hired John Meehan, who's ex-Lion, as teacher. So John and I were teachers for the program, and we did our first intake in July. We had Phil Sharp from Hiker Brewing Company, who was one of the first group of students to take it. We actually ran it in the middle of 2020 when there was all lockdowns and stuff like that. We still managed to get We'd never missed a class.
Yep.
It was supposed to be that you would go to South Bank, right? When you did it, right? The original plan was that you'd do your 1 day a week on campus at South Bank, and then you'd go do your brew lab days over at the brew lab. And we managed to not miss a day in the middle of the worst of COVID. So this is the crazy thing, right? So the state government actually spent $1 million and built a brewery out at Cooper's Plains, and the brew lab's cool place, you know. It's very. I mean, you got to wear a beard net and a beard snood and
you got to wear a beard snood. But
I don't wear a hairnet, you know. So well, you know, I'm not shaving the beard.
Yeah, no.
I'll wear the beard snood, but the beard is not going anywhere. And so we got our first group of students through, and then in 2021 we had our first part-time intake, which you were a part of. And we still ran 2 full-time intakes, and the TAFE program's still going today. It continues to grow. We actually are running a 3rd cohort that starts next week, so 2 full-time, 1 part-time. We've got an additional teacher on. So John sort of left because he wanted to go do that El Camino walk across Spain. He sort of resigned, but Kate Stewart, who's ex-CUB, came and joined us. She'd mostly worked in the lab. She hadn't spent much doing, you know, floor time and that sort of thing, but my God, that woman is amazing.
She's a legend.
She's amazing. She got up to speed so quickly. She's a phenomenal operator and a meticulous planner. I could not do the job that I do at TAFE without Kate. You know, that's how much I rely on her. But at the same time, we were a great team because she'd not run a brewery before. So I was like running the brewery and, you know, getting all of the SOPs in place and raw materials and all that sort of stuff. And she was the planning. It was fucking yin and yang. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. We've graduated now. We'll crack 120 students by the end of this year. It's something, I'm pretty proud of it. Yeah. Because...
well, there's a pretty high uptick of all of the students who have graduated who are now in the industry doing a lot of work in different areas.
The thing that I like about it is the TAFE team, and the TAFE is not me.
No.
I'm just one of the teachers, and I'm a very, very small part of a larger machine. You know, there's myself, Kate, there's Stuart, who's the new teacher, there's my boss, Katrina, there's Pat, who's the faculty manager. And all these people are just, I don't think I've ever worked for an employer where I felt so part of a team and so supported that I could just focus on
your bit,
teaching and delivering good skills outcomes for the students. And that meant, right, and so what's really fucking powerful for me was that I'm enacting change in people's lives.
Yeah.
And like that's really important to me.
Well, it is for me. I changed my entire career.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was doing IT, and I remember I called you up and I said, "Ben, I want to get into brewing. I've done home brewing for years. You've had my beers. You spat out some of my beers because they were infected, which brutal. But honestly, I loved it, and that just made me want it more. But I remember I called you up and I said, "Do this." I said, "Mate, you have to do the TAFE course." And
Let's
I said,
go. Yeah, exactly.
I'm working full time, mate. I can't. And you went, "Got to do the TAFE course, mate." And
if you want to, I think I remember saying to you, if you want to become a brewer, you've got to enact some change in your life.
And I did. I went home and told the wife.
That's what I love about all of the.
Thankfully, she was welcome to change.
That's good. You're lucky.
It was very good. It was very lucky and happy. But yeah, she was accepting of it, and she loves the beer that I brew at home. So
are they better now?
Oh, they're heaps better.
Good.
Yeah, I haven't actually brewed at home in a long while, but I do need to start. But
yeah,
the New Zealand Pils we did the other day.
Yeah, we'll drink that in a couple of weeks.
But the things that I've learned and the things that I've taken on and the jobs that I've got now are all leading back from that phone call of me saying, I want to do this, and you got to do the TAFE.
It's the thing that I find very personally satisfying, and why I really, really love and value and I'm very protective of that job is because I could go do other things, make more money doing other things elsewhere. It's a government job, you know, and but I love the fact that I can facilitate real change in people's lives, and I put more skills into the industry to raise the quality of the beer, particularly here in Queensland, which is my home. I feel very strongly about it.
Which means we get better beer in our local
It's selfish.
area.
I want better beer. what a fucking roundabout way to go about it. But here we are, and
hardcore, like
you know, I could just go work for one brewery or something. I'd be a head brewer at a brewery or something like that. But no, I'm going to go do the whole fucking state. Anyway, but it's something, like I said, that I'm immensely proud of, and I don't see myself, you know, giving that up anytime soon. I guess I look forward to the future of the craft brewing industry. I enjoy my contribution that I'm making to the industry now via TAFE and that sort of thing. Yep. I love the people in the industry. I think we've got some big achievements ahead of us and that sort of thing. But it's going to do what it's going to do, and as long as we keep having fun, then it's just going to be rad.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having fun and drinking beer. Well, man, thank you. I don't know, unless you want to talk about anything else. Is there anything else you want to yap on about? Yeah, you sure?
Let's just drink some beer and have some fun.
One day we do want to get you back, and we'll talk about your special sensory program and
yes, absolutely.
How that sort of
love
cool
to.
stuff
Smart
works.
sensory.
I love sensory because I love judging as well, similar to you. So yeah, I'd love to get you back on and we can talk about your smart sensory and how that came to be and why that's so important to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Because yeah, that's pretty awesome. I've seen it in the flesh before it was in the flesh, really. And yeah, I want to see it more. And
yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm about to judge all of bloody Sean's beers as well. He's gonna freak. Yeah. He's about to get the ADSI treatment.
Oh, really? Yeah.
No, not badly.
Yeah. But it's what you get. Yeah. Right? It's what you sign up for, and that's what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
As offended as you think you can be.
Don't get offended. It's like an opportunity to improve. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, I've never made a shitty gozer after that one.
Exactly. Cheers, ADSI.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Love your work.
Thank you. Alrighty, well, that's the man, the myth, the legend, Hendo. And yeah, you've heard everything.
Not a myth anymore.
No, you are to some people.
Just did a 2-part series about it. Not a fucking myth anymore.
But yeah, cheers everyone for coming along and have a good one.
Cheers.
Cheers in beers.